Good evening, everyone. What's going on? Welcome back to a knee-jerk stream for Game Week 3. My name is Mo, and if you're a regular here, welcome back. If you're new around here, welcome for the first time. If you guys haven't been here before and you haven't even subscribed yet, if you've been here before and you've subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Help the family grow to 2K. What a week. What a week, guys. We've had so much going on, so many... I'd say, talking points we've got, what's going to be happening, injuries. Wow. This is FPL, guys. This is why we love this game. I hope everyone had a good week. I certainly did. The wildcard certainly paid off. I think I would have ended up on about 19 points last night from what I was checking. But no, not bad at all. But I hope you guys are well. Thank you so much for coming back. So, Sard Ali, let's go. Genius Gamer. Hey, Genius Gamer. Hope you're well. Sard, Mo, you absolute thief. Congrats on the Guardiola clean sheet. Well, thank you so much. Well, look, as I mentioned at the time, it was a risk worth taking because, look, I appreciate Newcastle played it really well in their first home game. But what we need to understand is they're going to the Etihad and Man City, whether we like it or not, they're the best team, guys. And I think for 5 mil, he's a real bargain. And the ownership was about 3%. And even if he didn't play, I had Rico Henry who got me 5 points anyway. So either way, I knew I was covered. So 52 points is amazing for this poor week. I'd take it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd absolutely take it. My rank at the moment, the screen shows 168k. That's what I finished on last night. But on live FPL at the moment, I'm about 202,000. And I'll take that going into the last game with 2 players to go, which is Eze and Saka. Saka's high ownership, so my kind of overall rank wouldn't be affected as of much. But if Eze fires with his 14% ownership, that would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, no, it's been a good week. There's been a lot of talking points, a lot of things that have happened. Injuries, red cards, penalties. Wow. And Gusto started as well for 4 mil, right? So we could have a 4 mil goalkeeper Turner and a 4 mil right wing back. So you could have like an 8 mil 2 players in your squad if you guys really want to go for that. Sadly says that Baldy fraud can't be beaten. Yeah, no, it's just one of those, guys. But overall, I think it's been a fantastic start for myself personally. I take 132 points I'm on now after 2 game weeks, which haven't even completed. But no, overall, Manchester United disappointing. I did say, guys, look, the reason why I dropped Rashford and Bruno Fernandes is I just felt that, it's just not clicking right now for Manchester United. Yes, they've got Forest next game. Now, one thing I will say is if you're backed him for the 2 games, I'll definitely back him for the Forest home game. There's just no sense of removing them. And if you do want to get rid of one of them, I think more likely to get rid of, I'd say Rashford. He hasn't looked the same. He's not playing in his preferred position of left wing. So I personally, if you're going to get rid of any Manchester United assets, which I wouldn't advise, if I owned them, I would keep them for 1 more week. But yeah, I would still go for it. But that Salah game, honestly, Salah missed a pen and then scored the rebound. Could have been 2 more extra points, to be fair. And yeah, could have been a bit more better. But I'll take that. I'm still going to stick with him. But overall, it was a wise decision. Haaland blanked, which was great for me. But yeah, that's turned out to be a good week. Jesus, okay, Fernandes to Mbembo or hold. For me, I'd hold. Is there any other player in your team that potentially we could get into your midfield for Mbembo? I would love for you to have Mbembo. But Fernandes for Forest, I would like to keep him. But if you've got no other players, now in terms of Mbembo, let's have a look. Genius Gamer for Mbembo. Who they're playing this week? They have Crystal Palace at home. They've got 2 home fixtures. Look, Forest at home, I wouldn't advise it. But if you do have anyone else in your midfield, feel free to. Mbembe for me is kind of an essential at the moment. How good is Mitoma, guys? Estupinian got a returns as well. What a jammy first assist though as well. But it was brilliant. I'll take it all day long. But one thing I did say to everyone is we're not choosing Chelsea defenders for clean sheets. And that's been proven today, guys. 3-1. They lost. Chilwell went off after 60 minutes as well. So I'm okay with that. I would take that personally. I'd rather his minutes are being managed than him playing constant. So I'll take that. And they haven't played well. Jackson could have had a penalty, but he was slightly offside. He's played well. I'm happy with him. I haven't been hurt too badly. So obviously Watkins got an assist. Pedro didn't start. How many of you guys own Pedro? Pedro got benched, guys. We've kind of forgotten that in all the conversation. Mitoma absolutely smashed it. Solly March smashed it. Even Enciso at 5.5, guys. So maybe Enciso could be actually someone we could go for, but again, like there's so much risk of rotation. That's why I wasn't too keen on either Alvarez or kind of Pedro. But overall, kind of happy, I think. But any Solly March owners absolutely smashed it. Sard, I'm on 38. Saka, Saliba, and Martinelli to go. You know what? If they go big tomorrow, I know the Palace game isn't easy because they're away, but if they go big tomorrow, you could easily cross the 50 point mark. Sard, your thoughts on refereeing this season and VAR? I don't like VAR. I think it's horrible. I think the way they control it is horrible. I mean, I watch cricket, for God's sake, and I watch tennis. It works absolutely amazing in those sports. There's no kind of like, grey areas, but why can't we get it right in football? I mean, how's that Manchester United one not a penalty? Look, I said last week, United should have conceded a penalty. Onana absolutely flattened that player. Jackson, handball, he stood like a T-Rex, like here. I know it's not natural, but touched his hand. Handball. Spurs should have conceded a penalty. United should have had a penalty. Horrible decisions. Bournemouth, no red card for McAllister. I don't like it. I hate VAR. But the officiating this season, I love it. No time wasting. If you do back chat, you're going to get a yellow card. Absolutely brilliant. I like it personally. I think on the pitch they've got it right. Off the field, horribly wrong. But overall, I do take it. I'm not going to lie to you. It adds to the game and the spectacle, right? Dusty Toners, Rage transferred Salah to Mbemo. FPL is back. Yes. It is indeed. Sard, Mitoma damaged the rank real bad. Yeah, I mean, look, if Mitoma had blanked, I would have been in the top, I think I saw on live FPL, I would have been in the top 40,000. If Mitoma just blanked, didn't score anything, didn't get the big haul, just 2 points, I would have been in the top 40,000. That's how much that one hurt me. And if I had him, I could have been in the top 50k easy. But hey, we're not going to worry about that. Mitoma had good fixtures. I was wary of it. I chose Eze, and I'll back it and I'll stick with it. Konzo, I know frustrating with Pedro, honestly. We knew it was coming, but I didn't realise it would be so quick after like game week 1 where he's got a penalty, he's played 86 minutes. But yeah, I mean, Wolves were a shambles, to be fair. Konzo, I'm on 46 points with Saka and Gabriel to go. Hopefully Gabriel starts. I think he should do. I think this game, obviously with the Timber injury, I know he didn't come on as a replacement directly for Timber, but I think there's a good chance he'll start. So yeah, I think that he'll play 90 minutes in my opinion. Sard, I really don't know what people are in the VAR. Ridiculous, honestly. I don't know what's going on in VAR. I really think that card for McAllister needs to be rescinded. I remember a few seasons ago, they rescinded a red card for Son because he had good behaviour. But hey, I mean, I'm not a Liverpool fan. I've got a United shirt and I'm a United fan. But where it's wrong, I will stand up for that. Sard, you saw what De Zerbi said on Pedro. Death cell now. Yeah, I mean, De Zerbi's now becoming the new Pep. So we've got two roulettes now going on. De Zerbi roulette and Pep roulette. So we'll have to wait and see. But Pedro, look, if you're looking to get Salah in for an enabler for 5.5 mil with the big haul you got in game week 1, let's just take that in isolation. So if I told you could get those points over 2 weeks for what Pedro got you in game week 1, would you have taken it? I think you would have. But yeah, it is frustrating. And people are having to now like kind of analyse again of how they're going to play it. So Salah being kind of like, I would say, taking out their squads, bringing in other midfielders and then using those funds to go up to a Jackson or a Watkins, that could be something that FPL managers could be considering, or they could be looking to completely change formations, maybe downgrade to like an Anderson at 4.5 mil, then go 3 up front. That could be something that could be considered. But I think there's a lot to look forward to, guys. There's a lot of fixture swings that's going to be happening. But I think Foden, Alvarez is going to be someone to look forward to. I personally are looking at 2 players this week. So Maddison went off. Well, he didn't go off injured. Well, I saw videos last night on Twitter of him in a kind of like a foot brace and crutches. Now, that might not mean too much because Fernandes has had that before and he played the next week. But he did go down discomfortably and it didn't look good. He's got a 75% chance of playing at the moment. So let's have a look. Potentially, who could I get to come in for him? A lot of managers have actually brought him in, to be fair. I thought I saw like 70,000 managers pretty much brought him in. But fixtures-wise, obviously, that's the reason why I had him in my squad. Bournemouth, Burnley, Sheffield. But, you know, as alternatives for James Maddison, I could potentially be looking at ideally Foden, because of the fixtures just looks so great. But I have looked at Diaz as well. Diaz looked really good, guys. 2 returns in 2 weeks, and yeah, he gets subbed off with Salah. But hey, I think he's pretty much nailed on either side. So Diaz might be someone that I could consider, but City do have the better fixtures. So at the moment, I'm just going to wait and watch. So tonight, guys, there's a video of mine coming out for transfer plans. So please do tune in and watch it. There's 3-4 players I'm going to identify in there that I personally will be looking at closely to bring into my squad. But Foden at the moment is winning the race. Cosno, with Gabriel, I think it all depends with Zinchenko. Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, I think it might be a disciplinary issue with Gabriel. I don't think there's anything much. The guy started 74 back-to-back games for Arsenal in the Premier League. So, yeah, it's a weird one because he played all pre-season and then out of the blue he's dropped. But we'll wait and see. Look, at the end of the day, he's a brilliant player and I think there's a lot to come from Gabriel as well. Fazner, I hope you're well. I captain Mbimmer, absolutely buzzing. What a great decision. 32 points, one of the highest scoring players. See, it's so much more rewarding, right? I know Haaland's a great player, and look, next week, Sheffield United away, I'm going to captain him. He's probably going to be, you know, I hope he gets a hat-trick. But it was nice to captain Salah. I'm not going to lie to you, it was a good feeling. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it next week, but there might be more weeks where I actually go differential than Haaland. It's worth it, right? So I already wildcarded. I could not afford the Jackson, Chilwell and co price rise. So there have been increases in Chilwell, Jackson, Mbemmo's gone up, Maddison's gone up, Diaz has gone up for Liverpool. There's been a lot of changes, guys. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to wildcard, then play it through. Konzo, how long you live for? I'm probably going to be another 45 minutes or so, Konzo. Back to an early dinner. Been at work today, so a bit tired. Didn't watch the football today, but yesterday watched quite a bit of it. How good was Foden? Foden was really good, guys, for Man City. So if you're looking to look at some players, and Phil Foden might be the one. But overall, I think so far, with the average being around 30 points, so I'll take 52 for this week. That was pretty good. My rank's gone up from, I think it was 710,000 to, it says on the screen 168, but I'm around the 202k mark at the moment. So happy days. I think it's under 200k before transfers from the bench, and then if you look at it from after bench transfers, it's 202. So I'll take that. Any other, like Fazner, brilliant call on Mbemba. Any more kind of surprise captain choices in there that have done well for you? Any other players that have come in and done well? Let us know in this chat. Thank you so much all. We've got quite a few people in on the stream today. Give us a like and please do not forget to hit the subscribe button too. We really appreciate your support and thank you for joining the FPL family. Yasir! Hi boss, I'm a graphic designer and would love to help you in terms of your attractive thumbnails and love to join your channel team just for experience, but could send you a message. Please do Yasir. I could do with your help. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination anything good with graphics, but yeah, please do let me know if you wish to help me out, and then I'd always appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Who are you guys looking at for next week, guys? Please do let me know. But Guardiola was a good pick. It was nice. It was nice. When I saw him on the team, I was like, okay, cool. I need a clean sheet now. But Newcastle had their chances. Haaland had 2 brilliant chances, which kind of just missed the post. So I was quite nervous there. But yeah, I mean, it worked out well for me. Overall, I got a 6-point swing. 8 point, you could say. But yeah, 6 point because captaincy involved as well. If I'd captain Harley, I'd got 4. But yeah, I'd take that. But Salah could have done more, brutally. Konza United, I say this point yesterday, I'm fearing it could be another one of those banter seasons where fans forget about the owners and blame Ten Hag, and then he gets sacked and we blame the players. I mean, I get that. I mean, look, we started poorly last season, okay? United are not known for starting great. If you go back and you have a look at our previous season, I've been a United fan since 1998, so it's a long, long time, right? So if you go back to any of our, even Fergie times, right, we used to always start slow. United are traditionally slow starters. We'll never win 8 out of 10 games. We'll always struggle. I mean, if you looked at some of our September stats on Premier League years, documentaries and stuff, we're about the top 4. Sometimes we've been outside the top 4 and we won the league. So look, I'm not disappointed. It was a tough game at Spurs. Spurs isn't an easy place to go. We've got a few injuries. But the concern is we've looked lethargic. We've looked so slow. I don't like it at all. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm personally worried as well. And that's why I only have Onana as a Manchester United asset. Because along with him and Varane and maybe Van Bissaka before he came off, they were their best players. So I got Colwell, Chilwell, Estupiñán, Porro. Brilliant. Kabore. And the wildcard definitely feels like missing out on Arsenal defenders. Look, the thing is, right, this season, you're going to miss out. There's going to be a fear of missing out. So FOMO in some form or another. Now, when I looked at my defence, I thought I was missing out on Arsenal defence. And Arsenal haven't played yet. So I probably will miss out for it. So Chilwell was the only one that didn't return for me. So this is why I was a bit like, do I want to double up on, Sanchez in goal? Do I want to double up with Colwell in kind of 4.5? Do I want to double up with Gusto? That's why I put him on the bench, because I wanted to have a look. He's got into the position that I wanted him to play. But again, how comfortable... Even Luton at home, I'm not comfortable that Chelsea will get a clean sheet. On paper, it looks like they should. But I'm going to start Guardiola. Sheffield United away. That's exactly how I'm going to play the game. And I'm going to keep playing Estupiñán. There's no way I'm benching him. I've got Rico Henry on the bench as well. So yeah, that's the risk you take with the double Chelsea. They've got fantastic fixtures. That's why I've got Jackson up front to cover it. Enzo's on penalties, so even I could go Eze to... Oh, I'm not going to take out Eze, to be fair. But if I went Eze to Enzo, and then I've got $1.5 million... I don't really know what I can do with that $1.5 million, so I might just leave Eze full stop. But, you get the gist of what I'm trying to say is, you don't want to overinvest in some defences. That's why I've gone kind of like United, Brighton, Man City... Brentford, Enrico Henry, and Chilwell. So I've kind of covered all bases. That's the kind of way I want to go. But Arsenal, to be fair, their good fixtures are kind of moving off now. So once you go to the Manchester United and other fixtures, that's where it's going to get a bit more concerning because you want the attackers. So have a look here, right? So Fulham, obviously, at home is going to be a good game. United at home, Everton. But then after Spurs, it kind of starts changing a bit. Like the Bournemouth away game, it's okay. Then you've got Man City, Chelsea, Sheffield United, Newcastle. So again, I'd rather have the attackers for the upside of Arsenal. And I think if I was to go for any kind of defensive player at the moment, it's probably going to be Saliba, Max. If not, then probably their goalkeeper. But I'm not even sure who their goalkeeper is at the moment. Is it Raya? Is it Ramsdale? So there's a lot for us to consider, guys. But I think if I was to go Arsenal, I'd rather get in Martinelli for 8 mil. He's a good buy. Minutes are a risk. But what about Nketiah, guys? Not a bad shout. Can we get him in? Sard, Saka and Bimo, Rashi. Bruno and Richarlison in. Mid, Jackson, Vissa and Harden up front. Nice. Vissa's been amazing, guys. Honestly, he's been fantastic. I wish I had Vissa in my squad. Who needs Tony? Who needs Ivan Tony when you've got Brentford and Bimo and Vissa up front and Rico Henry bombing down the left-hand side? Nishan, good evening. I hope you're well. Would you take Jota or Bowen as a long term? I mean, to be fair, out of the two, I like Jota long term. But if you were going to go West Ham, how about Ward-Prowse? Because he's someone I'm looking at from game week 9. West Ham fixtures take a swing in game week 9, and that's someone that I really want to look at is Ward-Prowse. Then, so it could be actually for Eze. I might take out Ward-Prowse. You just don't know. But Bowen's not a bad shot. Look, West Ham have difficult fixtures now to game week 9, but after that he might be a better shout for me. But I would say personally, at the moment, I would personally take in your situation, I'll take Jota. Liverpool just look great attacking wise, guys. I know Salah's not been on it, but you got Jota, you got Darwin Núñez, who hasn't started yet. You know, you got Diaz on one of the blanks. He's doing really well. So yeah, it's a lot to come through. Thank you all so much for being on stream, guys. Top 200k is my rank at the moment after everything. Probably around 202k after subs. So please, thank you for joining. Please do hit the like button. Please, please, please subscribe to FPL Inkling. Really appreciate your support. Fazner, packet of diving was so funny. I saw the clip on Twitter. That was hilarious, by the way. And that's what Man City was going to pay for, right? Konzo, Mount's such a waste of money signing. We already had Bruno and Ericsson. We needed other positions like strikers, backup, CDM, backup, or centre back even before Onana. I think, look, at the end of the day, I'm not happy with the signings, personally. I think Mount will be good. I think we've got to be a bit fair on it. It's been 2 games. It's not been easy, right? It's not easy to settle in. I think we've got to give him time. Mount will come good. Eventually, he'll come good. Trust me, there'll be a period where he will settle in well at Manchester United. The issue with Manchester United is we paid £72 million for a striker who's injured. He's not played pre-season, so even if like Højlund, I think that's how we pronounce it, if he comes in, I don't know how they're going to perform. Rashford was a waste on the front. He needs to play on the left. Martial should start. Garnacho should be benched and then see how it takes it from there. I think that's the issue. But otherwise, United do look susceptible. It's just year on year. I don't know what it is. I just want the Glazers gone. If you want to completely ask me honestly, Glazers just need to go. But look, if you've got United assets, guys, as I said at the start of the stream, there's no point, I think, in my opinion, if you backed them for 2 weeks, then Forest at home, you won't get a better fixture. Adam 702, I hope you had a good evening, mate, and a good week. I was thinking of wildcard in Game Week 3. Is there any risk of that since we do get one in January the 1st? Look, I did it in Game Week 1 for Game Week 2, so you can see on my screen I've wildcarded. So there's always a risk with it, right? Whether you play in Game Week 8, 9, that's entirely your choice. I had to rip up my squad because I lost De Bruyne, right? And I could have taken a -4, but overall I took a risk and I thought it's worth taking. And I'm generally quite happy with my squad because I wouldn't have been able to get Mbumo in there. I wouldn't have been able to got I was going to go for Reece James, but I had to take him out, but then I would have got even more hits. Rico Henry, Guardiola. So overall I'm happy. I think, look, if you've got if you want to play the wild card, there's no set play. I know there's a lot of content creators, there's a lot of like so-called experts, and I think they're experts for the right reason, by the way, who will always say delay it as long as you can. But I personally believe that if you think it was the right time to play it now, play it. Because look, a lot's happened in the first game week. Look, we potentially lost Maddison, Reece James has got injured, you've lost potentially Trent. We haven't even talked about Trent yet. Trent could be injured. McAllister's got a red card. There's a lot that's happened, you know. Mings, if you got Mings in your squad, so a lot of people have lost a lot of key players in their squads, and I think it's De Bruyne, like myself, Bernardo Silva, if you selected him. So there's a lot of players that, you know, you might just need to just get rid of, and, you know, wildcard, I think it's a good time. If you want to play it, play ahead. Jackson or Nketiah. I'd go Jackson just because of the fixtures long term, but Nketiah's not a bad shout. Augustine, I hope you're well. Digne had an assist from blocked throw-in. I thought Chilwell would go and get an assist from the deflection. I did as well, but yeah, it just wasn't given, unfortunately. Konzo, Sterling looked good today. Considering him for Game Week 3, Bruno to Sterling and Pedro to Jackson. I have 2 free transfers. I think they're really good picks. Sterling, look, he's one of the most fouled players in the league in itself, and he got a penalty today. And Enzo, look, penalty's a penalty, right? Salah missed as well, but could have had an assist, and I think he looked good from what I saw on the live match I was watching on my phone on the way home on the bus. Yeah, I think there's a lot for us to look forward to in terms of Jackson and Sterling. Stunner, I hope you're well. Will Areola and Watkins get bonus points? I think based on the bonus point sites, they should do. Not sure about Areola should, because he made a penalty save. Pedro, Jackson, Watkins potentially could do, but they got 4 goals. So I think, you know, maybe Diaby and there are other players like Bailey who might get some more assist points as well. But Aston Villa were phenomenal, guys. Diaby might be a good shout, but I just got to back Eze now. I've chosen Eze. Konza, I don't think Forest is as good of a fixture as it seemed at the start of the season. They've improved quite a bit, in my opinion, first 2 game weeks. Yes, I agree. But Manchester United at home have a better record than their away kind of like form that they have. So personally for me, look, they could blank again. for all we know. But if you do want to transfer them out, I fully understand it. But if I owned them, let's say this game week, I think I wouldn't get rid of them. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that as a United fan. I'm just saying that by law of averages, they're due a return, right? And I think that might be the game which might kind of start off their season. Sard, agree, but you do have to be very, very smart with the transfers after he's a wildcarding. Hope it works out. No, I get that. But you need to be smart with your transfers at any point. So you need to bank them, build them up. That's going to happen at any point in the season. But I think wildcard's a bit hyped too much, where people say, oh, I've seen fixtures at this point. I've seen this here. Things change, all right? My squad changed within like 20 minutes of the season started. De Bruyne injured, gone. So there's no set player right thing. I'm just saying that the common consensus or the kind of like advice is to delay it as long as possible. But if you've got it and you want to use it, go ahead. FPL Dan, Ariella 2, bonus points, Watkins 0. Here we are. Thank you for joining FPL Dan. I hope you're having a good evening. Conzo, to be fair, I'm kind of only transferring Bruno out to fund Jackson. I get that. I fully get that. And before the price rises, it might be a good shout. But can you imagine if like the amount of transfers that are going to take place for Bruno and Rashford? And can you imagine if they deliver next week? Yeah, so try sending you a message on Twitter, but it doesn't look like I can send you messages. Okay, cool, no worries. Yeah, so I'll take a look out for it, and then you can try on my Instagram as well. Search up my channel and just send me a message there. Conzo, hopefully no price rises. Yeah, true, fingers crossed. But I think people are making... This is a part of the season, people make transfers so quickly. So they tend to rise a lot quicker than they do at other parts of the season. Adam702, what do you think of keeping Bruno for game week 3? I feel like for any other player, I'd transfer them out after blanking 2 games. But for Nottingham Forest, surely it must be a great fixture. What's been... Again, that's what I've been saying, Adam, for the last, bit of the stream that I've been talking about. I think if you backed him for 2 game weeks, you've got to have him for the 3rd one. I would personally. For a Forest fixture, I think it's just too good of a fixture to miss out on. Sadly, Foden instead of Rashford. Foden's a good shout. I think if I was to get rid of one, I'll get Rashford out more than Bruno. I'd keep Bruno. Rashford, I get that. So let's show you what my team looks like for next week. So this is what it lines up as. So as you can see, Onana in goal, Estupinian, Guardiola, Chilwell. Now I could play Gusto, for Guardiola, but nah, I'm not happy with the Chelsea defence. 3 goals against West Ham. I'm going to give it a bit more time. I'm going to back the City defence. Then Mbumo, Eze, Maddison. He's got a flag. Potentially could be Foden, Saka, Salah, Nicholas Jackson, and Erling Haaland. Then on the bench, you've got Turner, Rico Henry, Gusto, and Archer. So yeah, that's what the team looks like, guys, for me personally. I'm pretty comfortable with that. I think some real good fixtures. I've got a lot of home fixtures in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 out of 11. I'll take that same as this week. So overall, I think we should have another good week next week. But yeah, I think overall at the moment, I'm happy with the squad setup. Maddison is probably most likely to go out for either Phil Foden at number 1 or Diaz. Konza Rashid playing up top is why I didn't pick him at the start and opted for Salah. Salah, yeah, unfortunately, he didn't convert his penalty, but yeah, I mean, he's got a return, so we'll take that. But yeah, Rashid up front, not a good choice. Adam, minutes for Guardiola may be a problem, though. No, yeah, I mean, to be fair, with Man City, there's always a problem, right? That's why I've got Rico Henry on the bench as a first sub, so always available to come in, and I'm happy with him. But I think if you spend £92 million on a player, I think out of most of them, he's probably pretty much the most nailed. But you can never ever say that about Man City. But I think I think he's cheaper than what I expected at 5.5. I think we've got good things to come from Guardiola. But yeah, I went for him. I backed him, so I thought, you know what, why not? Diaz will play minutes for this extra £500,000, but I think for £5 Guardiola, safe bet. Guys, if you're new around here, please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button too. Absolutely appreciate it and thank you for all your supports. Support. Yeah, are there any other players that you guys are looking out for? How good was Mitoma though? That goal was insane. The only thing that can fully cap up my weekend perfectly is a beautiful Eze goal. Even if it's just a tap in, I'll take it. That would help my rank fair bit, to be fair. His ownership's only about 14%, so again, it's going to have a massive impact. And if Martinelli and Odegaard blank, even with the defence conceding, that will help me massively. But I think the template at the moment struggled this week. The general template. It didn't stand out compared to, I would say, general overall score this week. I think it got around the average points, but maybe moving away from the template might be the way, guys. Konzo, I think Ten Hag should play 3-2-4-1 with Shaw tucking into midfield and protection, also be able to fit Mount and Bruno in. I think that's a good shout. I think United needed someone like a Fred or a McTominay on yesterday's game. I don't like either of them, to be fair. I still think that would have been a better option, but yeah, we just look far too exposed. And Postecoglou's doing well. Udogie almost scored. Richarlison disappointing again. Maddison okay-ish. Played better in the first game. But Spurs look good. Spurs do look good. I said, yeah, and also start with Martial up top. Yeah, Martial just needs to play. I don't know why he's on our books. He's been there forever. I think I was at uni when he joined us. That was a fair while ago. Konza should have kept Fred. Yeah, we should have. They used to get a stick, but he did the job, guys, right? Cool. So, all you guys, thank you so much for being in the stream so far. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and do hit the like button too. And also pop in your scores as well. Let's read out some scores of how you did and how many players you've got left to play. But yeah, I was nervous. I think I had my whole squad. I was nervous about the Guardiola pick, but once he started, I was a bit like, oh, I hope he keeps a clean sheet. Because that helped me massively at 3.4 ownership. Sorry, 3.4% ownership. That helped me massively. And not many people actually trusted the defence, barring Edison being in goal, for City's defence against Newcastle. But at home, City are just a mean machine. Ishan, once Bernardo Silva returns, who do you think Foden or Alvarez will get more minutes? To be fair, Bernardo Silva at the right wing, I think personally it could be any of them. Even Grealish was benched first game, right? You can get Bernardo Silva playing right back as well. I've seen him play kind of right backish sometimes on the flank. But I think out of the two, I think Alvarez might be benched a bit more. I know he started the first game, but I think Foden will get more minutes. That's just my assumption, guys. Plus, with Alvarez, he's come back from a supposing muscle strain as well midweek from the game in I think it was Greece they were playing. So against Seville, that might be another concern. But I think Foden's minutes should be as most nailed as possible as they can be, right? But out of the two, I think Foden will play more. Adam said, I got 51 points so far. Brilliant. Absolutely smashed it. Who was your big scorers? So I tagged you in on Guardiola leak. Yeah, you did. I mean, to be fair, I get the team news on my phone, so I look at it from there. But yeah. Adam, Sanchez, Trent, Estupinian, Henry, Fernandez, Saka, Matoma, Maddison, Foden, Haaland, and Gapco. Nice squad. I really like that squad, to be fair. No wonder you got 50 points. Ishan, thanks, yes, and I think so too. Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's the most nailed in terms of minutes this season, because you've had, De Bruyne in the past, you've had Gundogan, you've had Mahrez, you've had these options available. Those three have got, I said three. Two of them have left the club. One of them's injured long term for 3 months or so. There's another kind of player which is ill at the moment. So I think, this is the most nailed he's ever going to be to start. And the fixtures just look insane. The Man City fixtures, let's have a look again. We talk about Chelsea fixtures. Guardiola, there's my boy, 3.7% now. So people are starting to listen to me a bit more, I guess. I'm really messing. But look at that. Sheffield United, Fulham, West Ham, Forest, Wolves. Yeah, I mean, all the way up to game week 7. I like that. I do like it. Adam72, wait. I was going to wildcard and put in Alvarez. Is that a problem then if Bernardo comes back? in terms of like Alvarez, right? I think Alvarez and Foden will get minutes. I mean, Bernardo Silva will get minutes here and there, but I don't think he's going to be like that much of a concern. With Man City, you're always going to have a risk of like some form of rotation. So out of the two, if you had to ask me who I believe is more nailed out of Alvarez and Foden, I think it's Foden. But I don't see their minutes being compromised in the next 2-3 weeks. All the way up to game week 5 or 6 till the kind of like international break, you should be all right. But all I'm going to say, Adam, if you're going to have someone like Alvarez in your squad, please have a strong first sub. So, for example, look at my team. I've got Guardiola, but I've got Rico Henry at 4.5 mil. Gusto's in there at the moment, so that's due to Reece James being out. Let's say Reece James comes back and Gusto obviously guts down in minutes. There's plenty of other 4 million defenders that will be playing, like Bell, Bayer, Bulldogs, obviously not available this week, but I'm just talking about there's other options. So always do make sure you have the first sub who's a strong sub. So someone like a Botman or like myself who's got Henry. So do feel that, just have some cover. That's the best tip I can give you. If you're going to go for Man City, make sure you have 2 players on the bench that are playing. At the moment, I do. So even if I get Foden in, let's say Guardiola and Foden get benched, I know that I've got 2 players that potentially will be playing, if not 1. So that helps massively. What you don't want to do is put all your eggs in one basket. So have 11 players who you put all your money into, and then the players on the bench just don't start. That's the only thing that you want to avoid at all costs. So a tricky one to answer. This is why you hate Pep Roulette. I hate Pep and De Zerbi Roulette right now. I don't even own Pedro. I was this close to guys. Alvarez and Pedro were in and out of my squad in the wildcard. So I don't think you should waste attacking spot on Alvarez rather than just put Vizza or Jackson and use a midfield spot for a City player like Foden. I mean, that's an alternative, of course. But Alvarez at 6.5 is a tempter. He is a tempter, guys. He is a tempter. And look, at the end of the day, you're never ever going to be able to predict who's going to start or who's not going to start. Maybe you could use that 1 mil to boost your bench. But Foden, for me, I'm personally going Foden. So I agree with Saad there. That's out of the 2, my preference will be Foden. So for example, next week, if I show you guys my squad like I did earlier, you guys can already see I've got Maddison in there. I'll just change Maddison to Foden. That's literally what's going to happen with the squad. Right, guys, if you're new around here, please do give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit that subscribe button. Yeah, Vista is 6 mil. I think it's probably gone up to 6.1, but yeah, he is half a mil cheaper than Alvarez at the moment. But guys, tonight, please do tune in. I will be doing a transfer plans video pretty much straight after the stream. So that will be going live, so please do watch that as well. Adam, this is the full team. I was going to wildcard Sanchez, Martinez, Gabriel, Henry, Supinian, Chilwell, Botman, Saka, Mitoma, Foden, Mbemo, Maddison, Alvarez, Jackson, Haaland. So now I like that squad because what you've got there is you can have, I guess, Botman on your bench. So you've got Saka, Mitoma, Foden, Mbemo, Maddison, Alvarez, Jackson, Haaland. The only thing about this squad, I love the squad, by the way, Adam. The only thing about this squad is I always recommend go for 7 attackers rather than 8. So in my squad, as you can see, my 8th attacker is Archer, so I don't really look at him. The only issue you're going to have with that is benching. So there's 2 ways you can work with this. A, you can rely upon, obviously with Botman on there, and you could have one of your attackers on the bench to come on if there's Pep Roulette. But then you've got 2 Pep Roulette players. That's the only other thing. But I do love the squad. The only thing I would say is the only way I could make it easier for you is if you don't have to make that decision for your 7 attackers, whether that's 4 midfielders, 3 attackers, or 5 midfielders, 2 attackers. It makes your decision easier. With 8, obviously, you can't play 5 midfielders and 3 strikers, or 6 midfielders and 2 strikers. It's just not possible. So what I'm trying to say is I would rather you utilise your 7 spots in your squad, and then you can kind of manage it through the way. But overall, I really like your squad, by the way. It's gone so quick. 2 out of 38 game weeks already gone, guys. Already gone. Sard, I think if you don't have Salah, having 8 attackers as 17 fixture roulette could help. It could, Sard, and that's the problem. The fixture roulette is good. I agree with that. Not having Salah gives you those funds, and that's the thing. It's just what I'm trying to say is that you just don't want to get too much involved in there. But overall, yeah, I mean, eight attackers, it does work because of the way the budget structures are. And the fact that people are moving away from players like, even Son and Rashford, who are the most expensive midfielders outside of De Bruyne and Salah. So, yeah, I mean, you can get 8 players in. And that boosts your, as I said, it boosts your bench. Can't believe it's almost 7:30. Starting to get a bit hungry now. Thank you so much for all your love, support, and messages, guys. And thank you for subscribing to today or previously. If you haven't done so far, please do hit that subscribe button. Let me just have a look at Estupinian's fixtures. I know they were going to get difficult. Newcastle at home. Manchester United away. Going to be tough. Bournemouth. Oh, I want to say tough, but he'll get something. Bournemouth, Villa, Liverpool's going to be tough. Man City. Yeah, I'm still going to back him though. Still going to back Estupinian. He's done well for me. I've been here 42 minutes already. Can't believe that. Right, guys, that's going to be me calling again evening. Just had a long day at work and working all weekend, so I need to get something to eat. But thank you so much for tuning in. Please do stay tuned. In probably the next 15-20 minutes, I'm going to release a transfer plans video for myself and something that you guys should be considering as well. Please do share the channel information. Let everyone know about the FPL Inklink. Do hit the subscribe button and please do like the video as well. I just want to say thank you for everyone for tuning in and best of luck for the last game left in Game Week 2 and best of luck for Game Week 3. Stay tuned.